In a time long ago, in the rich lands of Igboland, there were 3 queens known across the kingdoms for their breathtaking beauty and notorious foolishness. Queen Nena of the Uzoani kingdom, Queen Amoka of the Ogbunai clan, and Queen Adeku of the Omichi people. They were as dazzling as the stars, but their arrogance and carelessness were greater than any beauty they possessed. These queens were united by their love of pleasure and vanity. They reveled in the grand festivals that marked the seasons, and no celebration was complete without their flamboyant presence. Dripping in coral beads, dressed in the brightest ankara and silk wrappers, they moved together in a cloud of perfumed arrogance, their heads high, their steps slow and deliberate. Wherever they went, people trembled, and the servants scattered, bowing low and hiding their faces, fearful of catching the queen's disdainful eyes. But while they partied and indulged in every pleasure, the kingdoms crumbled under their neglect. The queens had no interest in the duties that came with their titles. They ignored the matters of the land, dismissed the needs of their people, and scoffed at the wisdom of the elders. Their husbands, great Igbo kings, had taken other wives, women of virtue and humility, to manage the affairs of the royal household. These women handled the markets, tended to the children, and made sure the people were fed and cared for. The 3 queens found it all ridiculous. "Let them be wives to the land," Nena would say, "while we enjoy life." Amoka would laugh, and Adeku would add, "After all, is it not our beauty that they envy?" They cared for nothing but their own pleasure, and soon they began to take their lustful ways too far. They slept not only with their husbands but with the warriors, the chiefs, and even the servants of the palace. The scandal of their ways became the talk of the villages, carried in whispers by the market women, passed from one ear to another like a secret too heavy to hold. For a time, they believed their actions would never catch up with them. But the gods have eyes that see all. The kings of Uzoani, Ogbunaik, and Omichi soon learned of the shame their wives had brought upon their houses. One moonlit evening, during a grand festival where the 3 queens danced and sang with reckless abandon, the kings arrived, their faces as dark as a storm. Before the entire assembly, the kings declared their queens unworthy of their titles. They denounced their arrogance, their infidelity, and the disgrace they had brought upon the thrones. The queens, adorned in their most splendid attire, stood frozen as the kings pronounced their collective divorce. Their jewelry, their crowns, their royal wrappers, everything was stripped from them in front of the watching eyes of the entire kingdom. Banished from the palaces, the once proud queens became outcast. They wandered from village to village, hiding their faces behind old, torn wrappers, living in fear of being recognized. Yet no matter how far they traveled, someone would always point and whisper, "There goes the foolish queens." Their beauty faded, their wealth was lost, and their names became a curse on the lips of the people. Their story became a warning to all women in Igboland, a tale of pride gone wrong. Mothers told their daughters of Nena, Amoka, and Adeku, the queens who lost everything because they thought themselves above the land and the people. And so, their tale was passed from generation to generation, a lesson that beauty, without humility and responsibility, would lead only to ruin. The 3 foolish queens of Igboland became a parable, forever remembered as a cautionary tale against pride, vanity, and neglect of duty.